graphical improvements, new server regions that Gport are supplying, as well as seeing 120 FOV in the future. We're going to be covering quite a lot of things, and this is not something that's just coming from my head. This is from a very recent conversation that I've had with Pedro Silva, who is the community manager at 11 for Rust Console. But what I do want to say, if he is watching or anyone at 11 are watching, I do appreciate the timely responses Pedro Silva gives me in regards to Rust Console, whether it be about anti-cheats, whether it be about new skins or anything on the topic of Rust Console. I do appreciate the responses he gives so I can make content like this, informing you guys on the YouTube and TikTok platform. As well, how is everyone finding the update? Now the bugs, it feels like that they've just patched with the recent bug update. How are you guys finding the game? Are you enjoying military tunnels or are you not enjoying military tunnels? What are the pros and cons about this update that you like? And I know the maps are huge. We're going to also be getting into why I think there should be a certain update that should be happening within the next month or so once we kind of get to grips with 3.5 km maps. So the conversation kind of started with Pedro Silva commenting on how he is liking how I provide information for you guys and to keep the community informed surrounding Rust Console, new updates, theories, and anything in between. So something I've wanted to know for quite a while now is the old FOV. I loved the old FOV. I like seeing the whole gun, and something that I do raise in this conversation is the point of skins as well, because if you have a no stock AK, we can't even see the stock in the first place because the FOV is so zoomed in. However, let's get into it. One thing I wanted to ask about is the FOV. At the start of Rust Console, we could pretty much see the entire weapon, which from looking at my comments was loved by the community. People are asking for 120 FOV, so you have 60, 90, then 120, if that works at all. A good thing to add is a more zoomed out FOV is the skins, more specifically the no stock skins we can't see, as you know, with the FOV we have at this current moment in time. We can't really see the stock anyway, so a no stock AK is pretty much pointless. So I posed the question, could we see a higher FOV at all in the future? Pedro responded saying, not something that we have planned at the moment. I do keep track of all things mentioned on the FOV, would be very low on the priority at this moment in time. Pretty sure the one we have at the moment matches the PC version. I don't think that's something most of the players mod, but I'll be sure to ask the team if this is something it can be worked on. I don't really see a reason why not, and this would be really good to just even have the setting of 120 FOV. If you like 90 FOV or even 60, sure, have it. However, for the people that want 120 FOV or more zoomed out so you can see the whole weapon, this is something that would be brilliant for the players that want that. And as well, I've seen a lot of comments from more OG content creators along the lines of them not actually liking the gunplay and how it is viewed through the FOV at this current moment in time over on the PC side of things. I actually preferred it how it used to be, but that's just a thought. I added one last thing people have been wondering is the weapon inspection to view the new kits when it hits the stores. Is this something we could be seeing in the near future of the game? So weapon inspection is a lot of, you know, basically something a lot of people are asking for because we're getting all these new skins, we're getting no stock weapons. It'd be cool to just inspect the weapon. And it wouldn't be much of an animation to do. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't take that long considering they have these new gestures. So it's within the boundaries that D11 are able to put this into the game. Pedro Silva replied saying, that's something we would like to have. I tried to push for it for this last content update, but it was already too late in the cycle to implement it. It's not super high priority, but it'd be really nice to have. If we got it in this new update, I mean, I guess it would top it off as the biggest update Rust Console's had because it already was. But to have inspect element, it's just that extra thing within the content side of things and gameplay that people can just do. Like, skins is something you show off within the game, and what better way to show it off than using the inspection gesture or animation within the game to just look at the skin and kind of appreciate, because you're obviously buying this. Pedro then asked me the question, if you don't mind me asking, visually where do you think the game should improve? Now I did post this in the Discord of CNQR Discord. You can go and join the Discord in the description. Some responses were kind of valid, some responses were, I guess it's just not even worth asking at this moment in time, maybe later down the line, but this is what I said. Visually, and this is an opinion more than myself have, is the colors in the game seem stale. I'm just going to put it out there, I do think they've obviously upped the saturation within the game. I still think the saturation could be more. The only reason we kind of see PC have more saturation is because they changed the colors within their game, and I can too within Rust Console. I have two monitors, and one monitor that I record my Elgato gameplay, I actually raise the saturation, so I basically put a side-by-side comparison of the in-game within Rust Console and my monitor color settings that I'll obviously have on screen for you. I go on to say, I'll supply you with an image of the game versus the settings I use on my monitor, maybe an option in-game to boost the saturation if that's a possibility. Another pointer I said is another visual that has been discussed in the community is the water graphics. Again, I'll supply another image from PC compared to console, more sea-like animation coming towards you, such as like small waves, not high crushing waves by any means, because there's no real point, but just slow waves and less, more inconsistent movement within the sea because it's all consistent. And if you're a mod of a server, you can just fly up and you'll just see, a square piece of the water is literally like copied and pasted throughout the ocean sort of thing. So more sea-like animation coming towards you on the beach, if that makes sense. Again, I have an image that I'll put on the screen that has the PC and the console in terms of graphics. Two things left to add, one thing being weapon sway. So when you're just walking with the weapon left to right or going straight on, you see the weapon sway a little bit within PC. I'll try and supply some gameplay of that. And I just think it's cool, I just think it's, a little extra thing to put into the game that would be nice to have. As you know, the small details count towards the bigger picture. And of course, all those people that are in the background shouting, you have this chance. Ask about the frame rate. And this is exactly what I said. The main thing people are asking is for stable frames, 60 FPS or less lag. Whilst there's many factors that probably cause less lag and frame drop, this is what the people want in terms of playability, though it's not a visual per se, it's just a common opinion I'm seeing amongst players within the community. This could be something that old gen is making difficult, or the fact the game's being optimized for both generations. But they're the things that have come to mind when thinking of visuals within the game that we couldn't possibly improve on. I had one last thing to add, and that was about the shadows and the contrast within the morning of the game. So if you go onto the PTB and go on practice servers, it's set to 10 AM and it won't move from that. And I feel like 10 AM is just so dark. Like when the bits that are, bright and light, they are bright. However, the shadows from the rocks and stuff like that, there's no need for night vision goggles, but it's just dark and you can't really see players. So I just wanted to relay that back because I think it's too dark in my opinion. Pedro replied saying, thanks, that's great feedback. I do understand what you mentioned about the saturation, but I do think sometimes people turn it on too much. All valid points though, I'll be sure to share it with the team. And this is brilliant, again, this is the future of gaming. Having feedback that is both credible and valid from the community and a content creator to feed it into the community manager, then relays it to the dev team. Again, it's one of those things that is becoming more apparent within the future of the gaming industry, because these are the people that are also making money from the game, but are also making the game developers money by promoting their game and recommending it through these update videos that I do, through videos such as bigger content creators doing wipe videos. So it's like a circle of just good communication and all around getting a better understanding of how this game could be within the future. So all the feedback I've given within this conversation has been relayed back to the dev team, which is quite awesome to hear. However, probably the best news to come out of this conversation, which kind of just caught me by surprise, is I'm sharing this image right now. It's not live right now, however it will be live, is that they have now opened, G-Portal have opened new community server regions. This includes Japan, Australia, China and Singapore. To my knowledge, we only had England, Europe, and then 2 USA, I think Washington and New York. Now they've added 2 extra USAs, if I'm not wrong in saying that, Dallas and then Los Angeles. One that's sold out is Brazil, but I'm pretty sure Brazil was already there. However, I could be wrong. Again, I could be seriously wrong. So the new ones I think we've got is the Dallas, the LA for US, Brazil, Japan, Australia, China and Singapore. This is huge for these types of regions, because the Australian region, I see a lot of players playing on TikTok and they're very kind of close knit. I see, all the big players within that region play against each other and play together and make videos. One most notably neighborhood content creator that comes to mind. So it's really cool to see that they'll be getting their own dedicated servers. And it's really good that, Pedro supplied me with this information to share to you guys that this will be coming within the near future. With all that said, what are you most excited for? Again, I don't want to obviously bug the dev team and Pedro about what I think needs to come to the game. I've already told them what I think the most important things need to come to the game. Anti-cheat, playability in terms of 60 FPS, and as much as I could just ask all day questions surrounding this game, I think it's just respectful to ask a couple questions here and there throughout the week. But leave a comment down below, what do you make of this news and this discussion I had with Pedro? Leave some support in the video, such as subscribing if you are in fact new around here. Leave a like as well, as that helps make the video more apparent and recommended to those who seek this sort of information. I've got a couple videos also coming up within the week, so stay tuned. It's going to be active as always, and I'm putting a lot of time into these videos, and I hope you do see that. As well, if you're within the CNQR Discord and the server on community servers on Rust Console, how are you finding it? Are you enjoying your time? What could be better? Leave your suggestions in the comments. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next one.